Unit 4. Addition and subtraction. This is truly what Unit 4 is all we are doing, probably up until winter break, is adding and subtracting. You should expect a test, not a quiz, but a test before Christmas. You should get a quiz probably on Friday. Okay? So, addition. Today we are going to start by adding integers. And this is day 1. It's not really day 1, but I apologize, I wasn't here yesterday. I haven't posted a video saying why I wasn't going to be here yesterday, but nobody watched it, so it's fine. So, adding integers. First off, we need to know what is an integer. Integers are the subset of real numbers that include, so I'm going to put some dots here. That means it's going forever this way. -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then dots. Do you see decimals there? That's a question that I'm asking you. Do you see decimals in any of those numbers? Okay, I need more than, so give me a thumbs up we see decimals, thumbs down we don't see decimals. Okay, now we're getting class participation, wonderful. No, there are no decimals in there. What about improper fractions? What about like 7/3? Are we seeing fractions in there? No. Okay, these are negatives and they're opposites. So they're really what's called whole numbers and they're opposites. Whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, what's the opposite of 121? Negative 121. So it's whole numbers and they're opposites. We are adding integers today. So today will be the first day that you see negative numbers. When I was your age, or a little bit younger, but when I was learning negatives, I hated them. And I don't know if it's because my teacher wasn't good, whether I was lazy, probably a combination of them both. I am going to try to make these easy for you. So, notice how this just says adding numbers. It doesn't say adding integers, it says adding numbers. It does not matter. These rules will apply for all numbers. There are 2 different ways that we're going to add numbers, because we're only going to add 2 numbers at a time. Everybody with me? We're only adding 2 numbers at a time. So, the same signs. And then I'm going to split this down. And we're going to say different signs. And there will be rules to do both of these. If you take no other notes besides this, well, that's bad. I want you to take all the notes. But I want you to have this somewhere in your page. After you copy it down once, I would put it on another sheet of paper nice and big, so that any time that I'm adding or subtracting, I can pull these out. So, the same signs. Ready? Circle each number and the sign directly in front of the number. And I'm going to show you an example in a second. Okay, circle each number and the sign directly in front of that number. Step 2. Forget about the signs. That's important. Now, how do we forget about the signs? Well, if it's a negative number, what did we do yesterday that made it positive? Right. So if I had something of -7, how can I make that positive? What did we do yesterday? Good? Yeah. When we forget about the signs, this is really absolute value. So we're just making the numbers absolute values. So we forget about the signs. Add the, and I'm going to put in parentheses, positive, because when you forget about the signs, they're going to be positive. So add the, oh, thank you. Add the numbers up. Step 4. Put original sign back with your answer. And that's crucial. You've got to put the original sign back with your answer. So, keep copying. Circle each number and the sign directly in front of the number. They should either both be positive or both be negative. That's what I mean when we're saying same signs. And you're going to see this. Then we're forgetting about the signs. We're adding up the absolute values. So both numbers are going to be positive. Add them up. Put the original sign back with them. So if they're both negative, my answer is going to be negative. If they're both positive, my answer is going to be positive. Have that copied down. We are going to get to examples. I promise. You're going to get so many examples that it's ridiculous. But I want to have this up on the board. Oh my goodness. Okay. Does everybody have this copied down? Give you about 30 more seconds because I see a couple pencils still going. So, different signs. The first thing stays the same. Circle each number and sign directly in front of the number. That one stays the same. Now these are different signs. Forget about the signs. And I'm going to put in parentheses now. Both numbers are now what? If I forget about the signs, both numbers are going to now be what? Positive. That says PS. Okay, step 3. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. Because even though it's adding numbers, in step 3 on the other side it says add the positive numbers up. Step 3 over here is going to say subtract the big number minus small number. Okay, so now we are subtracting. And I know that's strange, but you'll see what happens, and I'm going to do some demonstrations about what's happening. Okay, because right now is just the algorithm, then I'm going to show you what happens. We're going to spend plenty of time on this. So subtract the big number minus the small number. Step 4. Put the big number's sign with your answer. Go ahead and get those up. If you have this, I'm telling you honestly, this will take us through everything that we need. This will even be subtraction. I mean, really, this is easy if you have this copied down. So make sure that you have this copied down where you can read it. Because I'm going to want you to transfer it over to a bigger piece of paper. So when I say, hey, get out your rules for adding, I want you to pull out one sheet of paper. So you should have it written down so neatly that later, because I'm going to tell you to at the end of the class, put it on a separate piece of paper. Okay, so I hope that we have these copied down. Let's start off easy, okay? With numbers that you actually know how to do. So here's number 1. Nothing's going to be tricky about this. 10 plus 5. Right now, nobody should say anything of, oh, wait a minute, I don't know how to do this. Well, no, you absolutely should know how to do this.
Does anyone need more time to copy down the rules? Are we good? Okay.
Good, you're fine. So 10 plus 5. We all know what the answer is. Trevor, what's the answer of 10 plus 5? 15, okay? We know how to do this. But humor me. Let's do the rules. Both rules are the same because that tells me whether it's the same signs or different signs. Circle each number and the sign directly in front of it. Well, when I circle 10, is there a sign directly in front of it? No. If there's no sign with it, what kind of 10 is it? Positive or negative? Jess? If there's no sign with it, is it a positive number or negative? Positive. Okay. Let's circle the next number, which is 5, and the number and the sign directly in front of it. So what sign should I circle with the 5? The what?
The addition sign.
Yeah, the plus sign. So this is a positive 5. This is a positive 10. Everybody with me? They're both positives. Are those same signs or different signs? Same, because they're both what? Positive. So then I forget about the signs. So now they're both positive numbers. I add them up. 10 plus 5 gives me 15. Put the original sign back in with the answer. When it's positive, do I need to put a plus sign with it? No. We know that if there's no sign, it's positive. Everybody good? So that's how I get my answer of 15. Questions on that? Okay. Let's try another one.
Guys, you should be doing, even though
You know how to do that? I would be doing this with me.
it's going to give you practice on how to do these when they get harder. You should be doing this work with Mr. H.
-7 plus -9. And now we're into a little bit trickier of a situation. -7 plus -9. What's the sign with my 7? Negative. So I'm circling the number and the sign. What's the next thing I'm going to circle? What will be the next thing that I need to circle? Come on, I need some more hands than one. Trevor?
The plus sign and the negative 9.
Okay, so circle each number and the sign directly in front of the number. What? Here's my number. What sign is directly in front of it?
Oh, the parentheses. Oh, no, the negative.
The negative sign. So when I circle 9, I'm just circling the 9 and the negative. Because we're adding numbers, right? It's always going to be that plus sign in the middle. Are my signs the same? They're both what?
Negative.
They're both negative. Okay, well, if they're both negative, we forget about the signs. Forget about them. So if I forget about this sign, what's my number?
7.
If I forget about this sign, what is it?
9.
So now I'm adding. So 7 plus 9. Izzy, what's 7 plus 9?
16.
Add the positive numbers up. I did that. It's 16. Put the original sign back with your answer. What's the original sign, Cece? Oh, inside those circles, it's negative. So what's my answer? -16. Okay, we're going to do something a little bit different now, though. So let's put it on a number line. So here's -5, -6, -7, -8. -11, -12, -13, -14. Oh man, Mr. H. Let's try this again. -5, -6, -7, -8. Okay, so on a number line, where am I starting at? In this problem, -7 plus -9, where am I starting at? What? -7. So I'm starting right here at -7. But now I'm adding a negative. If I'm adding -9 more, well, which way is that going? Well, that's going towards the negatives. So I'm adding -9 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, look where it ended up. Still at -16. There are two ways that you can do this. If you need to do the number line, hey, no problem. We're going to do the number line. But I want you to try to use these rules. So have that copy down for me. Those are two different models of showing negatives. Everybody with me still? So I'm going to erase number 1. And I'm going to put number 3 up there. You are doing number 3 on your own. -3 plus -5. Follow the rules, use a number line, whatever you need to do. Let's see what you can do.
Go ahead, guys, -3 plus -5. When you're done, raise your hand real quick. Looks good, guys. Nice work. So far, so good, Miss Jade.
Nice, I love it. You think we're ready, Miss Armstrong?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Avery, are you ready, honey? So, circle each number in the sign directly in front of the number. Tell me which two numbers to circle. -3 and what?
-5.
Good. The plus sign didn't get circled, right? Okay. Forget about the sign. So what am I going to write, Avery? Good. 3 plus 5. Bless you. What does 3 plus 5 give me? 8. So we've forgotten about the signs. We've added up the positive numbers. Now put the original sign back with your answer. So what's it going to be? -8. Boom. That's one way. Let's start on the number line. Let's see if I can actually do this time without screwing up. 0, -1, -2, -3. Okay. Where am I going to start on the number line, Maddie?
-5.
Which numbers first?
Oh,
Oh, so I'm going to start off at -3. And then I'm adding -5 more. So negative is a direction, okay? Positives go to our right, negatives go to our left. So which direction do I have to go when I'm adding another -5 more, Ryan? Left. So now I'm adding -5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it gets me to the same answer of -8. Questions? Relatively easy, right? Okay. I'm going to test you because I think you're ready for it. But I want to see how many of you can do it. Here we go. Number 4. You're doing it on your own. Be careful. -3 plus 5. So very similar. -3 plus 5. -3 plus 5.
When you have an answer, show us, please. There you go.
No. Nope. Read the directions. No.
Where are you?
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is a -3.
Yes.
-3
Good.
plus 5.
Good.
Okay. Let's look at this.
Nope.
Circle the number and sign directly in front of the number. So go ahead
Good.
and do that.
Good. Good. Yes.
Forget about the signs. If both numbers are positive. No?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this one.
Hey, for the most part, I would say about 70% of us got this without me even showing you an example. That's awesome. Okay? We haven't seen one like this yet.
Okay.
Ms. Ross, what two numbers am I going to circle?
Then put the big number.
Just the 5? Oh, with the plus 5, because we include that sign. So now I have to ask myself, are they the same signs or are they different signs, Miss Adams? They're different signs. So now I'm coming over here. Does everybody understand why I say, hey, they're different signs? -3, +5, yes? So now we forget about the signs. Both numbers are positive. Subtract the big number. So this is now 3. This is now 5. Which is the bigger number? Layton. 5. So I'm going to put 5 on top minus 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. So we subtracted. What's the bigger number sign? Is it positive or negative? Well, let's see. Negative 3. Oh, it's positive. So my answer is positive 2. Let's see it on a number line. Okay. Remember, negative is all about direction. So where am I starting off, Jackson? Which number am I starting off at?
3. Wait,
Negative 3. And now I'm adding 5. Connor, which way do I go for plus 5? Right or left?
Right.
Yeah, because they're positive numbers. So I'm adding 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is now my answer. Questions on that? Are we starting to see how we're doing this? Okay. Try another one on your own. Call us over when you have it.
Guys, make sure you are following those rules. They're written on the front board. They should be written in your notes. If you follow them, you'll get this. Okay?
It's almost like I put something on the board that actually helps.
It does.
I know, it's just a strange thing.
Yep.
Okay, let's try another one. Here we go. A little bit trickier because we're not going to be able to use a number line unless you really want to take your time with it. So let's go 37 plus negative 43. Let's see what you got. So circle both, for both, you need to circle. That's going to tell you whether they're the same sign or different signs.
When you're done, call us over. Don't hold it up. Just call us over. Sorry. Okay, you got it.
Good. Good.
So what are you going to do with these two numbers?
Good.
Yeah, so I will rewrite it.
Good. Folks, I'm very, very impressed. Trevor, what you got? Tell me your number. Okay, here we go. Walk me through it. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Taylor, you want to walk me through it? Perfect, good.
No.
Nope, too late. You had your hand up. Walk me through it. Teach me.
So circle 37
Okay?
and then circle 43. Negative 43.
So what am I circling, Taylor?
Negative 43.
Okay.
And
So what's the question you're asking yourself now that you've circled them?
they have the same sign?
Okay, do they?
No. So you take 43 subtracted by 37.
So these both become positive, right? So I've now got 43, which is my bigger number, minus 37. Okay? Walk me through my subtraction too.
You gotta regroup 3.
Oh, so the 4 becomes 3, this becomes 13. Go ahead.
That would be 6.
Okay, now what?
You take your negative sign from your bigger number
Oh, because 43 is my big number because it's on top. What's the original sign with it? The negative. So it's -6. Okay? Everybody with me? Now, let's do some common sense stuff. Here's 37 on a number line. 36, 35, 34, 33, and so on and so forth. If I am starting at 37, which is right here, which direction do I go when I'm adding -43? Which direction? To the right or to the left?
Left.
To the left, because I'm adding a negative. Negative goes to the left. So here's my question. How many do I need to add to 37? How many negative numbers do I need to add to 37 to get to 0?
37.
Yeah, I would have to be -37. Well, if I added -37 to get to 0, do I still have some left over? Oh, because -43 is bigger. So it's going to send me into the negative numbers. If my negative number is bigger, can I have a positive number? No. Questions on this? Listen, if you have these rules, you should be fine. Questions, concerns, problemos?